I once met a woman who swore she heard her child's cry long after she buried her. I didn't believe her. Not until I went down to the river myself. Not until I saw the calabash floating there, spinning slowly in the dark current, as if listening, as if waiting. The village of Eruya was born beside a river that never slept. Its waters possessed a restless ancient energy. They hummed even at midnight, a low continuous whisper that seemed to speak to the mighty trees, to the tall grasses along the bank, to the silver light of the moon above. We fetched our drinking water there. We washed our clothes there, letting the river rinse away not just dust, but the weight of our day's work. We learned our reflections from it, because a river, they say, shows you who you are, not who you pretend to be. It is the truth teller of the earth. In this peaceful village lived a woman named Namera. Her laughter once filled every courtyard, bright and sharp as polished stone. But for many years, the gods delayed her womb. The silence in her home was a deep, aching void. For many seasons, she prayed by that river. She would kneel on smooth stones, her tears mixing with the endless tide. She watched the water ripple in the sunlight, around stones, roots, fallen leaves, and wondered if the river's answer would ever reach her. Until one glorious morning, after 7 long planting seasons, she finally felt a stirring, a sudden, urgent warmth within her. She gave birth to a girl, tiny, soft, so small it seemed a miracle of thread and breath. Her eyes sparkled like whetstones, catching every glimmer of light, reflecting a world she had yet to see, but was desperate to explore. She named her Telu, the answer she had waited for. The whole village danced that night. Drums thundered, shaking the earth beneath our feet. Flutes wept sweetly, a sound of pure joy. Even the river seemed to hum along, a deep, rhythmic beat, celebrating a life long awaited. In the glow of the bonfire, Namera made a solemn promise. I will never let harm touch this child, even if I must cage the wind itself. A beautiful promise, but love can become a heavy thing. She watched her daughter too closely. When Telu tried to run and play with the other children, Namera called her back immediately, pulling her close. When she laughed too loud, a sound that was pure music, Namera hushed her. And when Telu, drawn by a primal curiosity, tried to touch the river, Namera pulled her away with a sudden painful grip. The river takes what it loves most, she warned, her voice trembling with an ancient fear. Stay close to me, my child, always within my sight. Years passed. Telu grew tall and graceful, but her world remained tragically small. She learned to fear the wind, to mistrust open laughter, and to see freedom as something dangerous, forbidden. She became an exquisite little prisoner, trapped by her mother's desperate love. And yet, her curiosity was stronger than fear. One morning, when her mother was busy in the house, grinding pepper, Telu saw her chance. She quietly slipped out, a small, polished calabash in her hand. She wanted to fetch water for her mother, to show Namera she was responsible, no longer a baby, worthy of trust. Tiptoeing towards the river, she was drawn by the water's song and the morning sun dancing on its surface. Down by the river bank, she bent low and hummed the same lullaby Namera used to sing. Her reflection trembled on the water, as if the river itself recognized her and had waited. I watched her there, small and brave, and felt a pang I could not name. The river seemed to pull her calabash first, almost playfully, and in trying to save it, Telu slipped. When they finally found her, the water was calm again, too calm, like a secret it would never, ever tell. The little calabash floated near her still hand, spinning, spinning, as if whispering her name. Namera's wail that day was like nothing I had ever heard before. It was a sound torn from the deepest part of the soul. It split the air, reached the hills, and even the river seemed to shiver with sorrow. And when night fell, a night of crushing, slow, silent grief, Namera sat by the river and swore she heard her daughter cry from within that calabash. No one believed her. They whispered she was mad with grief. But when she lifted the calabash, water dripped down her wrist like hot tears, and from somewhere deep inside its hollow shell, a soft, fragile voice murmured, "Mama, let me live." She ran, dropped the calabash into the darkness and fled home, shaking. That night she burnt every single calabash in her compound, convinced they were carriers of the river's curse. But still, she said she heard the cry. I went to the river the next day, drawn by dread and curiosity. The surface looked ordinary, reflecting the blue sky. But the closer I leaned, the quieter the world became. And in that profound stillness, I heard it too. Not loud, not clear, just a faint, continuous sob beneath the persistent, cold hum of the water. And as I ran, I could swear the ripples on the surface followed the shape of a tiny, childlike hand. Since then, I've never fetched water from that spot again. The silence is too loud. Even now, when the moon shines full over Eruya, villagers say the river still sighs, like a child half asleep. And sometimes, when mothers bend to fill their calabashes, they pause, listening. I once met a woman who swore she heard her child's cry long after she buried her. And now, I think I believe her. The ones we try hardest to protect may desperately need freedom to grow. Letting go can truly be the bravest, most painful act of love. If you've ever loved someone so much it scared you, pause, listen, and maybe if we listen, the river will whisper its truth.